Hi guys, I thought I'd make this quick video. It's a little easier to get the information out this way as opposed to making some stupid meme. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about the virus. I know, everyone's talking about it and you're probably all locked up inside just like me, trying to find out as much information as possible on the virus, and I wanted to share with you what I have found out. So I've had a lot of questions asked and I wanted to fly these questions past you guys. So one question I've had was is whether it is real or not. It is real. The danger is also real. So maybe not so much to yourself, but if you have a relative or a loved one or someone you know who is older, then the danger is higher for them than it is for yourself. So you need to be careful. You know, people have different definitions on what danger is, and so I think it's better in this situation just to heed on the side of caution as opposed to just believing that all this is a hoax, which I hear the guys over there in the States have been saying. Be careful. There's a lot of disinformation out there, especially on Instagram, on social media. Part of the reason I came off social media actually was because of the disinformation that was being shared. Some people, just smart people, who you thought, okay, that's questionable. Why would you think Michelle Obama is a man? Why would you think President Bush is a lizard, comes from a lizard family? At some point last year I thought, no, I'm going to have to get rid of Instagram for a month. And so yeah, it cleared my head, and now I'm more focused. And also this virus has made me more focused as well. So it's good to be back. It's good to be back, and it's nice to have a clearer head, but it's just a shame that I'm speaking to you under these circumstances. Okay, another question. Is the virus man-made? No, I don't believe that the virus is man-made. I believe that the virus is a naturally occurring virus which is found in animals. I do believe that. What I don't believe is that this pandemic is a natural phenomenon. I think it can be a natural phenomenon, but I don't think it is this time. I think there's too many coincidences where you'd have to question whether whether the actual pandemic itself happened at this time by accident. That I don't believe. So yeah, the reasons I don't believe it I could go through with you now, but you know, China and Iran both have the stronger strain of the virus, and it's killing a lot of people there in those two countries. And there is one particular country that has the ability and has the history of doing things like this, and that country doesn't like China. It doesn't like Iran either. And I'm not going to point fingers, but you don't need to be Einstein to know who I'm talking about. So yeah, I don't believe it's come up here right now on accident. I believe it was planned. I do believe that. Why aren't young people taking it seriously? I think it's not good that young people are not taking it seriously, and I don't blame them. I blame ourselves. If you look at the United States itself, I mean, I've been looking at these guys in Florida this summer spring break and having fights with the police and so forth. That is something that's been created by us, the older generation. If you look, mean, I've been watching some of what CNN have been putting out there, and all these right-wing media over there in the States. They're just talking so much rubbish all the time. It's so biased that you can't trust what they say. So how do you expect these young kids to trust what the media are telling them? They're not going to trust what the media are telling them because they already know that the media are full of shit. And they're not going to trust what their elders are telling them either, because their elders also are gullible at times. So yeah, I don't blame them for doing what they're doing, but they do need to stop. But I don't blame them for doing what they're doing. Did China infect itself? Yeah, I've heard this rumor going around that China infected themselves to get back at the West. I believe that's, I mean, you'd have to be, I'm not even putting people down for saying this, but really, come on, use your common sense. Of course they haven't infected themselves to get back at the West. If they really wanted to do that, they'd find an existing virus in an animal, in a North American animal, take it and mutate it to the point at which they could put it inside a human. Why wouldn't they do that? Why would they infect their people in China? It doesn't make fucking sense. So I don't understand why people are even sharing stuff like that. But yeah. So what else? The strain of Africa. A little bit about Africa. Yeah, just a little bit about Africa. I think Africa is, there's a part of Africa, sort of, where the equatorial line is, where it's not, where there is very, very little infections there, and that's because of the heat. The heat down there. This virus doesn't survive well in the heat, apparently. So, will there be a shift? Will it affect Africa? Will you see an influx of people coming from the northern countries and the southern countries moving to close to the equator, where rates will be much lower? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know what the future holds. So, yeah. I'm going to finish on this one, actually. Mandatory vaccinations. Mandatory vaccinations. Now, Denmark have just put into place laws that make it, which means now that you have to legally by law be vaccinated as and when a vaccine becomes available. You also by law must be tested. So if they ask you to be tested, you can't say no. They're not going to ask you, actually. They're going to tell you that you have to be tested. From now on, you don't have any say in that, which is okay to me. I don't mind people being tested. But in regards to somebody giving me a vaccine, if it happened to me, which it might do, it might come to a point in which the rest of the European Union rolls out legislation that makes it mandatory to have a vaccine. There's no way no one's giving me any vaccine. Not a chance. Not a chance. I'm not taking it. And there are many reasons to that. One of them is because I don't trust a bunch of middle-aged white men in suits telling me what I can and cannot put in my body. This is all about bodily integrity. It's all about freedom and the erosion of our freedoms bit by bit. I'd rather die actually of the virus than have somebody tell me that I have to put a vaccine inside me, that I have to do it. I'd rather die of the virus. Fuck it. It's one of those things. Is this the start of the erosion of our freedoms? No. Our freedoms have been eroded for a very long time, but this is a significant step forward. So, yeah, it's getting real, guys. It is getting real. You have to be careful out there. Watch your step. And yeah, I'll speak to you again at some point. Who knows? Great tea, by the way. No caffeine.